Hey everyone, nerdygymbros here, and today we're talking about Cyberpunk 2077.
That's about as good as a feeling as you can get.
This is brilliant. I mean, this is
Not just it's a I'm in heaven.
This is absolutely brilliant. This is because we were talking legitimately right before we started filming this, and what did you say? It was like the pinnacle of gaming?
Well, that's also not
And
a thing to say.
And the thing is, I think The Witcher 3 had over 800 awards. This is just gonna.
Yeah.
No, that was a terrible one. There we go.
Okay. But what I said before we put the camera on was that Cyberpunk 2077's gameplay trailer that we just watched is
It's
what,
the 48-minute one.
Yeah, what gaming should be always, which is fun, be in-depth narrative when it is a story mode, and just overall pushing the bar on what has been already done before. Because nothing outside of maybe Deus Ex,
As far as futuristic-wise?
Futuristic-wise, just because they have the gadgets and all that kind of stuff in it. But besides Deus Ex, there isn't a lot of games that have pushed as far as Cyberpunk 2077.
And they are definitely redrawing a line, which I think has been well overdue. But I'm really looking forward to seeing where Cyberpunk 2077 takes gaming in general.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a defining moment.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at what the 48-minute video was like, and it's still working.
Flying cars. I don't know if we get to fly cars in the game, but the fact that they're in the game, that makes me. I wanted a flying car in a video game probably the entire time I've ever been playing video games. I remember back in the PS2 days, I always wanted to see it. I wanted to drive it. So, like I said, I don't know if we get to drive it or not. Maybe, maybe not. But that's besides the point. They're in the game, and that's what counts. I am excited. But
Cyberpunk 2077 is just, to me, what games should always aspire to be. Which is
just like what The Witcher did, too, with the storytelling and everything else.
You look at just the 48-minute thing and the amount of depth in it with the amount of choices you can do.
I wrote some of them down, and then the last maybe 10, 15 minutes, I was like, you know what, there's
I'm going to be here all day.
After, I think it took me an hour and a half up to that point, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to just write things down now. Segue. I took notes. So let's
get the first times we've ever taken really in-depth notes.
Well, the thing is, I knew when we started watching it originally, I already knew, I'm like, there's going to be so much shit in this gameplay trailer. I'm not going to be able to remember it all. So I took notes. We're going to go through. Alright, so your birth record, that depends, your choices are male or female. And then we go on to the background check. Your alias is V. I don't know why, but I really like that. Male or female, I think it's V. And
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I really
definitely because it reminds me of V from V for Vendetta. Which, that's just an automatic
I wonder what our character is exactly. It seems like because it's not like there's good lines or bad lines or...
You're in a dystopian world where they said it was intimidation and...
Yeah, I wrote it down what they said it was, but it... are we just trying to survive? Or what is our character's goals?
I think that probably depends on...
Your choices,
but the ending of the video says that the reason why she was going to go out and get a scotch and everything wasn't just to learn the world that they lived in with gun in hand and everything. It was, she was on a crusade to whatever.
Basically to experience it.
Probably. I don't know what her crusade is, but she said she was on a crusade at the end of it, so... Obviously.
And let's talk about her for a second. That hairstyle. By far one of my favorite hairstyles I've ever seen. I even wrote it down. I love the hair mechanics. When she gets out of bed with the one guy, just how her hair moves and everything. I'm like, that is beautiful. But alright, so now we go down to the background check. So you have to choose your childhood hero.
Which that's just intriguing in general.
Yeah, what that reminds me of is Mass Effect. And we all know how much we love Mass Effect. One of our favorite series of all time, and I'm including all four of them. I said it, but I love all four of them. But what we're talking about for the background check is we're talking about the original trilogy, where you got to choose if you're a colonist, a spaceborn, if you grew up on Earth.
Yeah.
I think colonist. Spaceborn were the same?
No, you had Colonist, Spacer, and Earthborn.
Oh yeah, so I was right. Alright, so
But
for...
the only... I don't remember if Andromeda had that. I mean, I guess that was just kind
No,
of a settling
because
thing.
Scott was the one who was on an outpost,
Yeah.
and Sarah was the, like, what the hell is it called? Archaeologist.
Basically.
Right.
But the thing that I find interesting about the childhood hero kind of stuff, and just the other background check stuff that's in there, which we'll get to, is just, like you said, it reminds you of Mass Effect, where they
like
say that the decisions that you make with that affect the overall gameplay. Where
And
with
obviously it
Mass,
affects your character,
Yeah.
too.
that's what I meant by overall gameplay. It's just everything, not just the interactions with the world, but your character specifically. I wonder if whatever hero they picked has to do with her crusade that she's on, or the only difference I can see between this and Mass Effect is that with Mass Effect, it seemed, granted we haven't played the Cyberpunk, we don't know how much of this stuff is really going to intertwine with storytelling and all that kind of stuff, but
I think it would be something like Mass Effect where it's just, not like Mass Effect, I think it would be something beyond Mass Effect where it like affects how people look or talk about you.
yeah, because with Mass Effect you had the few specific
Nods
to it, or one mission, I think, per game,
Yeah,
maybe,
I think so.
or just at least in the first one. So I wonder how this one's going to affect the overall, from childhood hero to the rest of it.
Right. Alright, so our first childhood hero is, I'm assuming it's a band, but it's called Samurai Rocker Boy. You saw the samurai jacket when we woke up in the apartment. The guy's name is Johnny Silverhand. He was singing that song in the background. Like I said, I took some notes. I was trying to point it out too. Alright, so the second person, and I think that guy's just like a rocker band. I mean, obviously, as
I wonder if when you pick those things, if when you're in the real game, if they're going to tell you what these specific things mean.
And I wonder that, but I also wonder, like, will we get to meet our childhood hero in the game, depending on who your hero is?
Be a complete fanboy.
Yeah, kind of like, remember in, which one was it? I think it was, Saints Row the Third, like when your character meets Burt Reynolds. Burt fucking Reynolds?
Yeah.
Alright, so the second person is, a Solo of Fortune. So I'm just going to assume that
Was
means...
it Solo of Fortune, or was it Soul of Fortune?
I don't remember. So it's either Soul of Fortune or Solo of Fortune. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was Soul of Fortune. So maybe that's just all he cares about is money. And that person's name was Morgan Blackhand. Then you had the last person who was a corporate god named Saburo Arasaka. And please forgive me if I pronounced that wrong. Alright, so then those are your three childhood heroes you get to choose from. The next part, and this is all part of the background check, the next part is the key life event. The first one is death of a sibling. Which,
That's just hard.
I don't want to lose you! Death of a sibling. So obviously I think that's actually, when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, that sucks. And then I thought about it, I'm like, that's actually brilliant, because death of somebody close to you always shapes you.
Yeah.
Either makes or breaks you, and I think that was a great choice. The second one is you ran away from home.
If
if you grew up in Night City, I mean, maybe your parents were abusive, they were drug addicts, and you're like, no, fuck this shit, I'm gonna go out on my own and make my own way. So I mean, I like that choice too. And then the last one is your first big kill. So that to me, and I know that.
I wonder if that is gang related. Or?
I don't know, but that to me means it could go either way. Maybe it was kind of like a, hey, I blew up half the city block, like bragging about it like a badass, or maybe it was a very emotional, like an assault type thing, and then you killed the person or whatnot. So I mean, that could go either way.
Yeah, those are all pretty dark.
Yeah, so for our key life, but as with key life events, they're usually are dark. So I mean, I really like all those three choices. All right, and then the last part of your background check is why Night City? Why are you here? So we have unfinished business, which I like that. That's kind of just like
vague. Yeah.
That's very vague. It's why are you here? Some unfinished business. I don't really know what I was going for there, but yeah, maybe it was something like that. The next one is an ex-lover in town, which actually brought a smile to my face when I saw that. Like, why are you in Night City? Oh, I'm just fucking someone. I'll be here a few days and then I'll be gone. And then the last one is something to prove. That to me I like because maybe it's like you're just trying to set out and make a name for yourself. So I mean, lots of great choices here. I love every single one of them.
I would like to see in the main when it finally comes out is for
like a definition.
Not in depth. This is what you're going to experience by picking these things, but just more of a definition. Granted, they didn't like go really in depth with that. I mean, I would stay with that for later on, anyways. But I just want to see when it comes out to see like little definitions of what little hints at what it might be,
right?
How it affects, like with Spacer Colonist Earthborn, it was how it affected your Paragon Renegade skill overall, but they gave you a definition of how these.
So maybe it affects your street cred or something.
Yeah.
Or your pool points, or I wrote that down. All right, so that's your background check. I like that a lot. I like the choices of it a lot. I feel like each and every person, because of the different ways you can combine them, a lot of people are gonna be different. Like you and me would probably have two totally opposite characters, just because we usually always choose opposite things anyways, just to see how the story progresses. The next part was the biometric scan. This revolved like your face, your hair, your scars, and then it just lists others. What those other things are, I don't know. Also, it gives you, I think it was like 5 or 6 different face presets. I should have wrote the number down, but I forgot to. Then it gives you the detailed facial. I can't read what I wrote down. That's embarrassing. Well, either way, it's detailed facial stuff. So for your eyes, you have, and I'm just assuming here, I mean, I think it's eye shapes. Because what I mean by that, because it's like, they showed like 4 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 5 out of 10.
Well, it could be the shape, but it could also just be like a preset eye kind of thing, where it's like, you pick which one, like any customization RPG thing where you're picking what your eyes look like. And
so that's what I think. So there was 10 eye shapes and 36 colors total. And I think there was purple, which I'm very happy about. Anytime I
wasn't one of the things, I don't know if it's on there.
It could be on the next page. What are you looking for?
But with the eye thing is that you had eye glow.
Oh, that's on the next page.
Oh, I didn't know.
So there's the 10 eye shapes, and like I said, I'm assuming it's shapes. And the 36 colors, you have 10 nose shapes, and this is as of right now. It could change. There could be more. There could be less. And either way, I'm fine with it. So there's 10 nose shapes, 10 mouth shapes, 10 jaw shapes, 10 ear shapes, and then for your skin tone, you had a percentage thing, and I think hers was at 20%. The next one,
so obviously one side is light, one side is dark.
Yeah, at least that's what I'm assuming.
I
wonder if you could. I remember what the hell was her name? The chick from Star Wars with like the ghost white skin.
Oh.
The bounty hunter.
Damn.
I know, I can't remember.
Aura Singh,
yeah. So I wonder, when I saw the percentage thing, if you could make yourself like day glow Aura Singh
white.
Yeah, I think that would be something. I think it'd be cool because
I would like the Aura Singh white only because that just to me. Like we've said with Aura Singh's thing when we did a character video about Star Wars is it gives such a ghostly, otherworldly feel to the character.
Like I said, maybe that's too far, not as far as the realism of the sci-fi and everything, and that's cool. I mean, that's fine. But all I was saying is, I think that would be cool. They don't need to add it in or anything. I was just making a statement. All right, so the next part is the appearance. It says appearance last known. So maybe you are just like a vigilante or something.
Well, yeah, I remember the dystopian world though. So and it's the free.
Yeah, I think it said, I wrote it down. I think it was like the free state of California or off California or something like that.
Still, a dystopian world. So
so
free state to me, which intrigues me about Cyberpunk, just on this little note real quick, is that if the dystopian free state of Night City basically is the free state, makes you wonder what the rest of the country's state is currently in.
Yeah, because that's the
is it like a military corporation thing that has taken over the rest of the states, or is it, and this is like one of the few safe havens.
I was like, I would use safe havens very loosely,
but dystopian areas where the government corporations haven't taken control yet.
It looks like they're trying to, though. I think the corporation that they were talking about, the majority, was Militech or something like that. I think I wrote it down. But for your appearance and your last known for the screen that they showed us, they were style, clothes, makeup, and piercings.
Which probably changes a little bit with... no, you could probably do makeup with guys as well.
Like Eyeliner or something, like a Johnny Depp.
Or Pirates of the Caribbean is Johnny Depp, but
No, Johnny wears that in real life, I think.
regardless,
Besides
the
the
point
whole-
being is that with makeup with guys, what you're doing there is once again jumping into that cyberpunk world.
Yeah, or maybe like trying to hide up a scar or something
Yeah.
like that.
I suppose.
So then, as of right now, you have 10 tattoo locations. I don't know if that means you can put 10 tattoos in general, or it's just here's a tattoo, now place it, or
Yeah.
here's like a sleeve, or I don't know what the case is there. But either way, it said that there's 10 tattoo locations. Then there was something called light color, and there was 24 options there. Something called glow
I
color.
bet you the light color was
I don't
probably
remember-
the color.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was on. I should have wrote it down, but I forgot. I think the light color was like the, like you were saying, like the jacket.
Thing.
Then there was a glow color, which
Which was probably the eyes,
right.
which is when they plug in to things, as far as we've seen, like other
Yeah,
people,
the eyes
their
light up.
eyes light up. Or when they plug into chips and stuff, their eyes light up. So that's definitely going to be cool.
Then there was eye mods. I think that's what you were talking about earlier. And there's 10 options there. There's skin mods.
With a D.
Surface wiring, which was
Which-
10 again, which I thought was
that's an
rather
intriguing
interesting.
just name in and of itself. It's
Yeah,
like-
because I was like, what the hell does that mean? Because maybe it's like your veins light up or something, and I thought
Yeah.
that could be really super cool.
that's what I'm thinking. Is that it's either going to be like your veins, or because this is a cyborgy kind of thing, that you're literally going to have like wires. Because you look at Jackie's face, the lines and everything. That you have.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's surface wiring.
that could be. Then there was bodily scars, which was 10, and we all know what bodily scars are. I'm sure a bunch of us have scars. I know we have a few. Then there was biostats, and this consisted of strength, which they had at level 3, constitution, which was at level 2, intelligence, which was at level 6, reflexes, which were at level 8, tech level, which was at level 2, cool level, which was at 4, and then they had 0 points available at the time. I totaled it up. That's a total of 25 points total. So,
Just at the beginning.
and that's just at the beginning. So what I wonder with that is,
One, can you level up all the way, and is there a limit?
yes, that was actually what I was gonna say. Because I wonder if it's more like if it was like a Fallout where it's like right at the beginning you get a certain all
Which Fallout?
points. Well, the only one I played is 3. You played 4.
Oh, you're talking about with the special meter.
Yes,
All
with
right.
the special meter.
Gotcha.
So I was talking about like maybe you get a certain amount of points, alright, spend them, and you get to choose or
Yeah.
whatever. But my question with it is, do you get to level that up throughout the game? Do you get more points through the game? But right there, right at that screen, there's 25 points total, and they spread it out through those things.
That's why the reflexes were so good. They had really high reflexes.
No, I actually think. Well, yeah, but I
They
think
were also taking the one time.
Yeah. Plus, I think they like switched the. I think the guy said that they might have switched the profile to a higher level
But that was
character.
at the end of it. I was talking about at the beginning of it when they were in the den.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Alright, so then you don't have a specific class, which I'm totally cool with.
Yeah,
I like classes in video games, but I also like when they're like a Skyrim where it's like you don't have a particular class. You don't
Here,
have
be
to.
a jack of all trades.
Yeah, I like being a jack of all trades just because I like to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm completely cool
The
with
only
that.
game that I was ever fine with classes in was Mass Effect Original Trilogy,
Right.
because I was always the Vanguard and Biotic Charge. To me, it was like, that was the only move that you should ever be playing in Mass Effect.
I think I went through with just.
Biotic Charge, shotgun, Biotic Charge.
I think I went through just about with. I think I hit every single class at least
think I
once
did.
in one of my playthroughs. In
Right.
all of my playthroughs.
I think I did about almost all of them. I didn't hit all of them though.
The next part you have takedowns and non-lethal takedowns. I love that takedown.
Or is this talking about now in the gameplay?
Now we're in the
Right.
gameplay.
So we're probably in the den.
Yes,
Or
we're in the den. We're trying to
Which
find
to
that
me,
shit.
the den thing.
That was freaky as shit. I
Yeah.
really like. I say I liked, but and what I mean by that, I loved how it looked, but personally, it scared the hell out of me. I mean, there was like blood stains on the wall, blood hand marks. I mean, it was a really shady ass thing, and I think what you're going to talk about is the plastic when you move it in, and then the plastic hits, and it just
Well, that was one of the things, but definitely that to me was cool just because when first person sometimes in certain first person games the environment doesn't really react to your body being there.
right.
And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just
On that note, though, real quick, the one thing I'd really like to see, as far as the environment reacting to you, is like when you're walking through all the people. I like to, maybe it's not your camera, but I like people when you hit them to like react to it.
But the thing about the den, because by the look of your list, we're just going through specific movements and stuff like that. That I can't
Maybe
really
I don't
read
know
all of it.
what we
But
went through.
one of the telling things at the beginning of the trailer is the elevator having no future scarred into
Right.
it, and then to go from that
Yeah, go to that into an area where they're harvesting
implants.
implants.
And people being killed, basically organ
Basically.
organ
I
harvesting.
was gonna call it human trafficking.
Human
but that wasn't
trafficking,
it.
organ
I
harvesting,
guess
all
it
that kind
is.
of organ trafficking, whatever you want to call it. But to go see the no future and then go into that like immediately, it really sets the tone of what kind of dystopian world you're really in with
Right.
it. And I don't know if you have it on.
I just.
Oh yeah, you do have it on. So I'll wait.
Oh, all right. Well, fine.
When we get to here, I'll bring it back up again.
All right. So one of the things I liked with the takedown, well, at first I thought it was really badass that you like dunk this head's dude underwater, stick your gun in there, and because it's great because it's like a silencer, just without the silencer. I just thought
I'm
it was
not sure if
brilliant.
that's how guns work.
Yeah, I don't know shit about guns, but I absolutely loved that scene. I mean, it was just badass, and once again, I mean, that place was just grim, dark, depressing, scary.
We got what he deserves.
Oh, absolutely. We're huge in revenge.
Yeah,
definitely. But like even in that tub, I mean, there's like I think there's arms, legs, and shit. So I mean, I really like that takedown. That's all. That's the one thing you take from the video. That takedown was awesome. I think it was also cool, like from that same guy when you killed him, you could pick up the body and you had a button called take after the takedown. So I wonder if that means like looting the body or
they did
what.
loot bodies in it.
Well, I know. I
Right,
just
right.
for that
So
specific
later.
person. Huh?
Later on, when they had to pick up the chip for the one droid,
Mhm.
you were looting people's
Oh,
bodies.
so maybe that's what take means. It just means loot them. Then there comes the one I don't really know what to call it. It was like the drug, the reflex thing. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that anymore. I don't really know what to call it. I'm just gonna call it a drug. But it was a reflex thing where everything kind of moved slower and you like reacted a lot faster, which I actually thought was really cool.
Yeah, it gets into the whole being a part cyborg kind of thing, where you're able to move unlike how
Unlike
the
humans.
human body can.
Because even later on, I wrote it down as well. You have double jump.
Yeah.
Which I thought was
Defy gravity.
No, it threw me off the first time I saw it because she was like she jumped. Then I was assuming that she was like gonna grab the thing and push herself over. All of a sudden she jumped again. I was like, the fuck? How'd she do that? But I thought that was cool. Jackie, I wrote it early on, but it wasn't
and it
even
became known by the end.
and it became very known by the end. Jackie's a glorified badass. I absolutely loved how.
I'm happy he's our friend in it.
He's brilliant, and I have to say something later on when we get to it, but I'm just gonna say it now and just double up on it. I like how you can either tell him the truth when you go to meet that corporate agent or lie to him.
Yeah.
Granted, I would never lie to him. I really like Jackie's character a lot. Jackie's glorified badass, but maybe
You're the brains of the operation. He's the brawn in a way, except that we're ass kickers as well.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are partners, and I really like that. I really hope we don't have to kill him or if he betrays us or anything of the sort.
I bet you
really
it's based on choices.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with you there. I really like Jackie's character.
He's a very unique character in and of itself, just by the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he interacts with everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's already distinguished himself as a unique character without having to be in, like, we barely 48 minutes.
Right, and I love his character.
And that's not even barely a fragment of that game, I guarantee you.
Oh, that's probably nothing.
It's
probably not even a tenth.
For him to be such a unique character that quickly is a great sign. It just shows the great storytelling that they've already been able to do.
CD Projekt Red has always nailed that shit out of the park. I mean, when we started playing The Witcher at Witcher 2, then we read up about Witcher 3, we read up about Witcher 1, then we played replayed Witcher 2, and then played the third game. And the storytelling that they can do is just,
like I said,
in a league of its own. CD Projekt Red to me it marched to its own beat, which it should. And they should.
But that's, like what I said at the beginning, is that what CD Projekt Red has done, just with where the current state of Cyberpunk is what all games should try to aspire to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is pushing the envelope.
Which they did completely in this gameplay trailer.
And not just bowing to corporate greed.
Right.
Because if you don't, I mean, look at what they've been able to do with The Witcher 3
Mm-hmm.
and now this. And it just shows that you don't have to, you know, if you just let the people that are making the games do their job the way that they want and create, and give them the free reign to create, you can create these beautiful games.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. But the reason why I say Jackie was a glorified badass is because he goes flying through the wall. Like, I think the character's name was T-Bug, did I write it down? Yeah, T-Bug.
Well, I'm
And
interested in seeing more.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I wrote it down. I mean,
Another unique character just
Mhm.
off.
she sounded more cyborg than human.
Yeah.
And
Could have
what
just
she,
been Tom, though.
it could have been, but who she sounds like is she very reminiscent of Edie to me from Mass Effect.
Just less proper. And
Yeah,
Edie
she-
was spoke at in a very proper way, I guess you would say. And
Right.
Where everybody basically in Cyberpunk, it's slang.
And I
Where-
like that. I like
Which
how
I
it's
like a lot, because that
It
gives-
brings you more into the world.
Yeah, exactly.
At least to me it does. So I really like T-Bug's character already. I mean, I want to know more about her. Like,
I want to see what interactions we can do.
yeah, because there's so many.
Here, I'll just real quick. Keep talking.
Because it's so I don't know what to call it, mechanical or not, but I wonder if she's like how human is she?
Yeah.
And I think that really the main point to me of what I took away from the entire thing, because I mean, you're looking at all these different enhancements and everything, like, and there's even a thing I have written later on, where when you're getting the enhancements done, like on your hand and your eye, and it was like, I don't remember what it was called, it was like human cost or something like that? Humanity cost, maybe?
Yeah.
So, throughout the game, how much of your humanity are you losing, and what does that
How does that
revolve
go?
around the story, your character? Can it be reversed?
Yeah.
Like when you buy, let's say, a high level upgrade that costs 4 humanity.
Can you go back?
Yeah, like
Which definitely is an intriguing concept from a storytelling point of
oh,
view. where it's
absolutely.
like- and I think I don't know if CD Projekt Red has said this at all, but it's like it's a story of how much are you willing to sacrifice to chase whatever
Right.
goal you're getting
Her
to.
crusade.
Her crusade, where is she willing to sacrifice her entire body, different parts
Yeah,
to
because I
reach
mean,
these
you
upgrades?
look at her and Jackie, and they're very much, even though they have the cybernetic enhancements, they're still very much human.
Yeah.
You look at someone, what the hell are the names? The Maelstorms?
Yeah.
Who are very much losing their humanity, just
willing to
just sacrifice. I mean, you look at the one guy, I think his nickname was Royce, I have his full name written down somewhere, where he's missing like half his fucking face.
It's all like pushed in, so the thing,
No, it's carved out.
yeah,
that's
what I
what
mean,
it is.
that it's like pushed in because
hmm
where your bone structure should be isn't there for
Yeah.
them as well.
So I think the humanity thing's going to be a big role. The humanity, cyber.
Well, isn't that the
type of
whole
thing.
reason why there's nudity in it? Where
I think so.
where it's not
I don't
just the
remember
gore,
where I heard that from, but I think you're right. I think
where it's
it's
not like glorification of nudity. It's
Right.
just the
to show the difference between humanity and what do you call them, cyborgs?
cyborgs is what I'm going with.
All right. So where were we?
We were
All right. So when the
Basically,
woman
yeah.
Sandra Dorset, the character you're going to save in the first, what was it, a den? In the first den mission, what I thought was cool. I like the choices in it, and I
Yeah.
wonder because I have it in here written later on. There's gold dialogue and then there's blue dialogue. So my question, I guess what I wonder is it like The Witcher where it's like the gold dialogue advances the story, and then there's that other part that like
You ask
asking
questions.
questions.
And if you notice throughout the entire thing, they have the gold dialogue. At the
Yeah,
end of
the
time.
first line every single time.
They
Oh
always
no,
have the-
there was one that was the second line.
But they always have the gold dialogue,
Mhm.
which progresses the conversation. So I'm hoping that you can ask the questions, the stuff that's in the white/blue
Right.
dialogue, because
And was there?
I-
I
that's what
didn't
I was-
catch it, but was there any time limit on any of the dialogue?
I didn't see a time limit like in The Witcher where you had those moments where it's
Right.
like, you have
Because my question is actually coming up, like where you have to choose to have Jackie throw you something, or you resuscitate the person. So I didn't see one, but was there a timer or no?
I don't think there was.
So either way, it stressed me out just watching. What do I do? Do I ask Jackie or do I do it myself? But when T-Bug asked if Sandra's alive, I wanted to write down a few of the responses just to give you an idea of like the different responses. Because it is an RPG, and as we all know, story is key.
Yep.
All right, so the things that you can respond with is gonna check the target's biomonitor. You can respond with hard to tell, or you can respond with more bodies in the tub, which is something you never want to hear over the phone. Hey, how you doing? Oh, there's just a lot of bodies in the tub right now. What?
Unless you're at an orgy. You don't want to hear about bodies in the tub.
Never. One of the things I absolutely love, one of my favorite things from the gameplay trailer, the gameplay walkthrough so far is,
The reveal.
Yeah, the jacking. It completely fucking threw me off. The cord, like in the wrist that you can plug in this, threw me off, but absolutely love this feature. It is so not human, which is the point, but it is so fucking cool. I absolutely, it opens up so many things, like, because that gets back down to what we're talking about, human versus cyber. You can't plug into a fucking human. I can't plug into your brain and know what the hell is going on in there, but this you can just boop.
Yeah.
Oh look, she has the highest level security for an ambulance. When was the last time you saw an ambulance with fucking automatic rifles? And I swore that ambulance thing looked like it had like two cannons on the front.
I wouldn't doubt it. But definitely since those guys were armed.
Yeah, get away from her. 5 steps. Like you take your job that seriously.
I'm the one that's rescuing her.
Yeah. Then there's that SIM card behind the ear thing.
Yeah, which wasn't that what was jacking? Or
yeah.
That was
interrupting. I don't think that was the jack. That was.
I didn't mean to say jacking, but it was interrupting the signal.
It was carrying a virus, and it was inserted behind her ear. It looked like, to me, it was like a USB drive type thing, but not a USB drive.
It's a floppy disk.
I don't even think people know what floppy disk are. I mean, we're old enough to know. I mean, but let's see. What I thought was also cool that you could pick up the chick yourself or have Jackie do it. I really like the relationship between V and Jackie. I mean,
I like how you're actually working together.
Yeah, it's not just you're making you can, hey Jackie, you carry her.
And something.
And I know I'm interrupting a lot, but I'm really excited. I really liked when you're holding her on the tub.
That's actually what I was gonna say.
How you're sitting on the tub, and then her head's resting on your knee. When you go to move, and you readjust and fix her like you would in real life if you're pulling somebody out of the tub. But I really like the
just a little tiny detail there of how the person, or how V was sitting on the tub, how the body was reacting to the movements.
Oh, actually, like even when she was carrying the body, like how, like, because when you're carrying a body, not that I know from personal experience.
Well, when you're just carrying.
No, I was making a joke.
Yeah.
But when you're carrying another person, their body moves. It's not just a stiff corpse. Yeah. And even if it was, it would still move. So I really like the attention to detail when you're carrying. Well, yeah, I guess. But when you're carrying around, I really like the fact that the body was reacting to your steps. I really like how once again gets down to that scene where you can yell at Jackie, "The air hypo," or you can revive yourself. I really like the choice there. I mean, throwing everything on Jackie. You know someone's gonna do it. Jackie, you take care of her. I just can't right now. There's bodies in the tub. I don't know what's going on. So then
there's so many bodies.
Yeah. So that was the name of them, the Trauma Team. I think what was it, the Platinum Edition, or something like that. I think they were the Platinum she had platinum coverage or something like that, and they show it with fucking machine guns. So
your coverage would do 90%.
Great city to live in. Yeah, your coverage would cover 90%. Here's a question I had about the trauma teams. Not like the one guy pushes you, but then the other guy's like, step back, take 5 steps back, and you didn't take 5 steps back, and he yells at you again to take steps back, and then you step back. So what I wonder is, would they shoot me?
Probably.
Would they taser me? Would they knock my ass right off that roof? Do they react when you don't falling?
I'm going to say shoot you, because they seemed like the kind of assholes that would just shoot. I mean, you asked them for a lift everything.
It looked bad, though. Yeah. You come out holding
this nude woman.
Yeah, it looked bad.
Thing from the hypo needle that you put into her.
Right. I think it was like an adrenaline shot, basically. But, let's see. The flying car, truck, ambulance thing. Loved it. Absolutely loved the. I don't know.
Can you give us a lift? All right, no problem.
I don't know whether to call them physics or what, but I loved how it looked. I loved how it landed. I loved how it take off. Everything about that is flying cars. Love the flying cars. The game was called Scavengers.
The game was called Scavengers.
Yeah, so they were called Though that game in particular were Scavengers.
I don't know specifically called Scavengers.
Then, as we know, the Night City is in the free state of California. California. The hair. Love the hair.
Yeah, I like the style.
It actually threw me off. I wasn't expecting the next scene would be you waking up the bed next to someone, but.
It wasn't Jackie, we can definitely confirm
that.
Yeah,
at first I thought it was Jackie. I'm like, wow.
Wow, we have a really close relationship with her.
Closer than I thought we were.
Different hairstyle.
Different face, but he was a big dude. Like, tall, wide as a fucking house.
Something that, since we're talking about the apartment right now, with the specific things that you're going to go through, the two things that intrigued me about it, one, going back to the person that she obviously just had a night of sex with, I wonder if that's just a transition scene. Like, you finished whatever mission was and the cutscene led to that.
Right.
Or is it like
after the mission you met somebody and then you hooked up with them? Or someone in the world?
Well, that's actually not what I mean. The first one, I mean, it's just, literally, it was just a cutscene that led into that, where you didn't have any choice with who you were sleeping with. Or I wonder if it's more like a Witcher 3, where the person, in a similar sense of Witcher 3, where you went to a brothel, or you went somewhere, or you hired an escort, and that person was an escort and came into your place. Or I wonder if they're going to go further, where it's not going to be every single person in the game, but there's going to be particular people, like if that character that you slept with was someone you can build I guess you would say, a relationship with.
So basically you're looking at like a Triss or Yennefer versus a Shani.
In a way.
Shani was one night, just like Kira Metz. It was a one night thing where Triss and Yen were a full-fledged thing. And
I wonder if that's
kind of were trying to be too much of a whore and ended up getting tied to the bed.
Which you rightly deserve.
Why would you do that? It would be my question to you.
Dandelion's gonna write so much about you, but
legitimately.
But that's one of the things I wonder is if that person is just like a transition kind of thing, or if you have a choice in there, like an escort brothel surface kind of thing, or if that person is like a Triss, Yennefer, Shani, or a Kira Metz kind of thing, where it's either a one-time deal where you did a mission and the reward, for the lack of a better term, in the world of Geralt, just make sure you get your Gwent card. But
I'll sleep with you. Let's play Gwent first.
Is getting, and the reward for doing whatever quest with that person was sex with them. So I'm curious at how that works out, just because if it's more of a companion kind of thing, or let me rephrase that, I'm hoping for at least a companion variation of this, just because I think that the ability to have not just romance in general, but just bonds with characters, in the game really brings you further into the story. So I'd be interested to see it with more of a companion kind of thing, but I'm also not against the escort brothel kind of thing.
Just for a one-night thing.
Just because, in a way, definitely in the world that they've set up, it would make sense, where you're capable of being with just
whoever you choose at that moment.
Whoever you choose at that moment, because you're living for the moment kind of thing. So I won't be against them using a brothel escort kind of service kind of thing like they did with The Witcher, if that's what that person is. But I'd also like to see a companion kind of thing, Jackie or otherwise, and definitely into the point where there's options for both genders, for not only straight but also
I'm sure there is. I mean,
the wide spectrum that you can do with it.
Where Geralt was, you'll honestly probably be able to have sex with a total 100% cyborg. I'm calling it now, cyborg sex.
Which is what I was getting at, where the whole spectrum, where you're talking about in this cyberpunk world where people are upgrading themselves into that stuff. So I wonder if that's going to be how far they go with it, where it's not just a straight, because with Geralt it was Geralt had a specific. I mean, he was a character in a book. I mean, he had a very specific sexual preference. So there was no going beyond Yennefer, Triss, or Brothel, or Kirametz, and all the others that he ended up sleeping with. Definitely my version.
Humans, elves. Geralt wasn't choosy.
He wasn't very choosy as long as they were female. So I wonder if with Cyberpunk, because this isn't a predefined character, if they're going to do that wide spectrum.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Oh, but the second thing that with the apartment stuff is I like the casual clothes of pre or after wake up or just waking up clothes.
I think obviously the clothes was an option, so obviously you'll be able to get to choose your clothes, and obviously there's gonna be different options and everything.
But I dig the ability that
I like the fact that we have a home.
Yeah, I like that we have a home, and I like that when you're in your home, you're just walking in around in whatever you want to wear.
Right.
And that to me was just a really cool feature, and I like how everything within the home seemed kind of interactable.
Yeah, it did. I mean, you had the computer, you had the one shutter screen that showed whether it was day or night, and I don't remember what the third one was.
There's weather on there too.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
Alright, so you had that, you had the computer in the room, you had, what I thought was interesting was the vending machine.
Yeah.
Like, you have a fucking vending, I mean, how integrated are these corporations, like, in your home? I mean, the fact that there is a fucking vending machine in your home. Maybe she just likes soda.
Maybe she's a fan.
Maybe. So, here's my next question. When you went to your armory in your room, because who doesn't have an armory in their apartment? Swords. There was like sword things where you could put swords. So, swords confirmed?
I hope so. That'd be pretty cool. Definitely because you have the
mantis blades.
You have the mantis.
We'll get to those.
We have the mantis blades, so melee kill weapons are not
we saw
out
that
of
dude
the realm. They're not out of the realm of possibility, so I'd be interested in seeing swords.
Possibly swords confirmed. Possibly. I really hope so. I like swords. So then you have, when you're walking through the, what the hell would you even call it?
It was kind of just
I was
a
going to
market.
say town, but it wasn't a
I mean,
town.
it was sort of a downtown kind of.
Yeah.
But like an underground area.
Right, so then you saw the one guy fighting a robot. So
was it a robot or was it a person?
It was a robot, and the dude had like a thing to his head and everything. He looked like one of those old Rock'em
maybe
Sock'em robots.
The wire and stuff that with the character creation.
That's possible. What was I saying? Oh, so my question with it is the first thing that popped in mind, will there be a Fight Club versus robot activity? It's an honest question. I mean, you had Fight Club activities, so that was legitimately my first thought. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I wonder if I get to box a robot.
That'd be pretty. I mean, the guy had a name and everything, which is another thing, which I don't know if you have to listen to. Is that every person that you saw had a specific either a title or a name, depending on who it was, and then
the slacker one's always cracking up. Look, slacker.
But they had their names and different things above them, so that's definitely something that is interesting.
One of the things that they said was violence and oppression are the norm.
Yeah, which gets into the stuff
what we were saying. Like it's like when you were talking about the free city, free state, and that's what's considered free, and it's very violence and oppression is everywhere. What type of a state is the rest of the world in then?
Yeah.
Which I think makes for brilliant storytelling.
Which we might not find out, and we may find out in it. Or it could be sequels, because I'm hoping that the Cyberpunk series
is going to be a series.
Is going to be a series, whether taking place of the same character or just different characters inserted into every single one. I'd be fine with it.
Then one of the things the narrator said was they are working hard for no loading screens.
That's very ambitious.
Is exactly what I thought. I was like, wait, what did he say? And I legitimately rewinded it and heard him say, like, well, holy fuck. Because, I mean, you looked at, when you first step out into when it says Cyberpunk, when you had the car flying over, yes, I noticed the car flying over.
I was more focused on the people walking around.
Oh, I got to that. But, no loading screens and you have all this shit going on, I mean, that's fucking impressive.
I wonder.
It's ambitious and impressive.
I wonder if Cyberpunk is going to be on current gen
or next gen.
I
don't know. I think the guy, the game developer producer, said something about it. Someone said something about it. I just don't remember what it was. But either way, I mean, loading screens have never bothered me.
Yeah, they never.
So I mean, whether it has loading screens or doesn't have loading screens doesn't make a difference to me. If it does not have any loading screens whatsoever, 100% impressed.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm loving what they're doing with this so far. Okay, so this was a stupid little side note. So when they're showing off the world and everything, and you get to when you're going across the street and it's the whole you can't cross thing, but you have those cops sitting over there and the thing. My first thing that crosses my mind because of how beautiful the world was, I'm like, I wonder if I cross this now if they'd give me a ticket. Because it's an RPG, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, how fucked would that be? I would have to deck a cop. Here's your ticket. But I mean, seriously, I mean, they don't have to do anything with it whatsoever. I mean, that does not need to be in it. It was just a funny little thing that popped in my head where I was like,
shoot first, ask questions later.
It could be.
Jaywalking.
It could be. But either way, I mean, like I said, I mean, it doesn't need to be. No reason whatsoever. It popped in my head when I saw it.
I mean, I think that'd be interesting, but I don't want it. Only because I don't want...
Every time I cross the street, get a ticket?
Cross the street, get a ticket, and I don't want to have to live within a set of rules when we're apparently in a dystopian world, you know? Yeah. I mean, look at what we did to that den, and the people that came to rescue the trauma team, came to rescue the lady. Yeah, they held us at gunpoint, but they just left. I mean, no one reported us for doing anything bad.
Right.
For going around killing people that deserved it, to be honest.
So I don't know if this was referring to Dexter or to us, but I wonder if Dexter was the character's name was Dexter Deshawn. But I wonder if Dexter was the fixer or if
he was the fixer.
He was the fixer.
He was
because
I didn't top fixers.
I didn't catch if they said we were the top fixer.
Getting in the big leagues.
Okay. All right. So that was solved. When Jackie tells you you have to go to the cab to talk to Dexter Deshawn, your choices are, all right, I'll go talk to him, and whoa, Jack, hold up. What?
Slow down, man.
And that brings me to Dexter Deshawn. He's a straight up badass.
Yeah.
I mean, not only does...
When he said the whole, I have a test for you, I so thought when he was reaching over for the chip thing, I was going to pull a gun and just aim it right at him.
No, I was expecting something like that and go, I need you to kill somebody for me, and I'll be like, alright. But I really like Dexter Deshawn's presence. I really like how laid back he is and how... Because obviously he's a threat. If he will kill somebody, I mean...
He has a gold-plated arm.
He has a gold-plated arm. But I mean, he's what do they call it? A fixer? So obviously he's what did he say that he was a top fixer? So obviously he's not afraid to get his hands a little bloody to remain that way. But I really like...
Dystopian world.
Yeah, I really like Dexter's presence. I really like how cool and how he talks and everything. And Dexter, I think, is an awesome character. This, to me, I thought was a very sarcastic-ass remark to him. Like, when he asked if we were interested in the test, we could respond... was it the test? No, when he's asking you if you're interested in a job, your response was, could be, go on, sing your song. And my first thought, you were talking shit to this dude and you're in his cab? What the hell do you think you're doing? But it actually didn't turn out that sarcastic like I thought it was going to. And the other one was very like, what's the job? Specifics? And then those two were the gold choices, and the blue choice there was, how do you find us for this? Which obviously is a question to learn more about the story and whatnot.
You hope you can do that without running his patience low. You know?
Yeah, that was the one thing I did thought, like when you ask questions, because I mean, even when you're sitting there with the Ripper Doc, I mean, there were different questions you could ask. So I was wondering, like, is there a patience thing with him? Like, could you sit there and you could? I guess what my question is, can you go through all the dialogue before you advance it with a gold option? I guess is what my question is there.
Because actually, the reason why I asked that is because I remember in The Witcher 3, there was a point in the story I had to end up reloading because I didn't think that the order you asked the questions in mattered. Where it was with Yennefer after, spoiler alert, where she uses the power of that garden to revive the one dude. I didn't ask Yennefer if she was okay first. Because I was going to ask it last, because that was going to be the last one before I did the gold choice. Because I didn't think, because I wanted them to have an emotional thing last before going on. But I didn't know that the order I asked them in mattered. So I ended up having to reload that.
Shame on you.
Because
that should have been your first question. You saw how much energy that took. She killed the garden.
I know, it's just, I thought that I would have more. I didn't think that the choices would matter what order I did, that the conversational choices.
Always ask a woman if she's okay first, that day.
I know. It's just, I didn't think that in that moment it mattered, because I wanted that to be the last one I asked.
Right.
But because that did matter, I wonder, like we were saying, if in Cyberpunk there's a patience meter of how many questions you can ask definitely with a guy like him who doesn't really need you. He's
Yeah,
just
I mean,
interested in
you're
working.
replaceable to him.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, anybody can probably do what you did.
Yeah.
Anybody with the cybernetic enhancements, anyways. Then when he asks you if you're good about the test, if you're okay with it, you respond with what kind of test we're talking about, or you can say, "Gonna be candid, not sure I like that." So yeah, those are your choices there. Then you have the mail. This is when you put the jack in. You put the thing in your head and it lights up in your eyes and starts going through the mission. So it's the Maelstrom gang, and the gang size is between 30 and 40 members. I think we cut that number at least in half. The current leader's name was Simon Randall, also known as Royce. Their turf was the Watson district, which brings me to how big is this open world? How many turfs? And obviously, if this gang leader, the guy's gang leader, is the Maelstrom gang, how many more gangs are in the thing, and how spread out is the districts in it? They already said it's the biggest.
And how does it all interact together?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe if you eliminate certain gang members, does that gang lose territory then? Or?
Right. Yeah, that's a good thing. Then characteristics he had past tense was heavy combat augmentations, range suppressors, reflex boosters, street mod optical unit known as Red Eye. Bum bum bum. It had unknown capabilities and a possible vision mode. Eddies are money, in case you didn't catch that. The drone that Dex wants you to go get is called a Flathead drone. It is experimental military-grade unit for surveillance and reconnaissance missions. The bitch, Meredith Stout, senior, the one chick that you did not like.
Hated her.
But
she was a unique character.
Oh, absolutely.
A few interactions
the one positive thing I have to say about her, she had nice hair.
Yeah.
It was. I didn't like her attitude. I thought she was very rude. But she is not past tense. She's still alive for now. Meredith Stout. She was is a senior operations manager. It legitimately says, I don't know if you caught it, do not delay, detain, or arrest for any offense. So she can get away with everything, including murder. And the cops will go, "Well, nice to see you," and be on their way. Alright. You can ask Dex about the woman after the briefing. Who is this woman? You can also ask what's with Maelstrom, why the and you can also ask what's with Maelstrom, why the strife. After some advice Dex gives you, you can ask questions from him. You can just tell him you think you know everything, and you can also say, why didn't you just ring, and why me specifically? Then they've mentioned a place called Afterlife, and what I wonder is that his hideout? Is it a club? Is it just a local hangout? What is Afterlife?
Well, and that's two.
I know, it's an Afterlife. Oh, it's a club. Wait, wrong series. One of the things I loved, a little detail, was how Dex's car opened its doors. Yeah. My favorite one, though, is Jackie's car, but we'll get to that. The Ripper Dock, you can get installs and upgrades with your cyberware.
And they said
that was interesting.
Yeah. Just the entire process itself was interesting. And
what it reminded me of was 3D printing.
In a way, yeah.
What I mean by that is when you stuck your hand in there and then they start putting, I have it written down, with the subdermal grip. And I thought that was just awesome.
And that gets to the humanity cost thing that we're talking about.
Yeah, because they said that you cut, okay, I'm going to cut you open and put this on, and she just, like it's nothing.
Yeah, because they anesthetic.
Oh, I know that. I was just saying, but it added something to your hand, which I thought was awesome.
Which was not, it was no longer the color of a palm, it was literally whatever color that it was.
Yeah, that had a humanity cost of 3. Yeah. And look what it did.
So I wonder, like we were saying earlier, is what does the humanity cost overall gameplay-wise? Mm-hmm. Is it literally just changing how you look, or is it going to affect deeper into it? Yeah, the whole eyeball thing,
that was awesome. I absolutely loved when you get new eyeballs. Or is it eyeball?
I'm not really sure.
I don't really remember. But either way, that was absolutely badass. One of you said, turn out the lights a little bit. I'm like, oh, he's going to turn us off or something like that. But no, that was not the case. You were very much awake. She just turned off your eye, I guess, like it was nothing. And all of a sudden, the eye, I didn't even realize there was an eye in the machine until it switches to that scene when it's the eye. Like, oh my god, that's an eye. And then it takes it out, and it, like, you're seeing you laying there, and then you're seeing him, and he puts it in. That scene was absolutely, I think, one of my favorite scenes in the entire thing. One of my favorites. There's a lot of favorites, but that was really cool.
They said about what are they called again, rubber ducks?
Mm-hmm.
That there's black market version as well.
Yeah, like military tech.
Which I wonder how much those cost in humanity to get those.
Let's see. You can tell that your Ripper Doc, whose name is Victor, that you're looking to upgrade. You can ask him if he's ever heard of Dexter Deshawn, which he obviously does based on the dialogue. And you can ask him, how are you and Misty getting on? Because he's your fellow Ripper Doc. Why not ask him how him and I'm assuming his wife are doing?
That or his assistant or...
Oh. Yeah, she had something about how... said something about Misty, I just don't remember what it was anymore. Obviously you've seen Victor a few times because the first thing he says is, let me guess, he hasn't paid you yet? And your responses are, I'll pay you back every last cent, which means you owe him a lot, and I'll owe you one. Which is like the worst thing. I'll get back to you. Motherfucker.
Basically when he's about to do freaking surgery on you, basically.
Yeah, so then there was the Karoshi optical scanner, the eye. And on the screen itself, there's a version 1 and version 2 that we could see. The version 1, oh yeah, I went this far, scans objects to gather basic information and progresses the quest. The humanity cost is 2. But once again, I'm very interested in knowing what the hell the humanity cost gets down to. I mean, that to me I think is very interesting. Then you have version 2, which is a basic scanner with the upgrade that identifies structural weak points in machines and in vehicles. Then you have the subdermal grip, which you got in your hand, which enables the use of locked weapons with negative 50% damage reduction, plus an increase in melee damage. The humanity cost for that was 3. And then you had the military scanner, I think. It said military, and then the first couple words looked like scanner, so I'm just assuming it said military scanner. So I don't know if that was like an eye thing or what, but either way, I think it said military scanner. When he asks you to lay your arm out, you can place you can just place your arm down, or you can say, hey, you got yourself some new toys. Because why not make small talk with someone who's about to cut your hand open? Let's see. Then the next part, which is my favorite, is Jackie's car. Holy shit, did you see how those doors open? Let's just talk about the doors for a second. They're like out and up. It was just the coolest doors I've ever seen. I'm eventually going to have to find somebody who will do that one day. I mean, that was just brilliant. And the steering wheel, it had no top, it was just on the sides. The steering wheel was absolutely badass. Loved all the neon and everything in it. And my question here, the buttons on the roof. 1, can we make it convertible? 2, is there an ejector seat? And 3, what did the switches do? Like, Q-Witch online. Or are we talking about like spikes? Like, can we upgrade the car, Jackie's car? I have to know. I'm super excited. We can also use bikes, they said, and a side note, I really hope for a flying car. We can shoot out the car. I have always wanted to do this in first person. I love how you're like, Jackie, grab the wheel, roll the window down and out. That window rolled down in record time. I mean, it was down and you were out the window going after the scavengers.
The scene itself, and I mean, it wasn't a cutscene because it was literally gameplay.
Yeah.
But just that in of itself was an awesome moment in it.
And a little side note, I loved when you ran over the dead scavenger and your car reacted. That was absolutely brilliant. You can use first person and third person when you're driving. I don't know which I'm going to choose. I really think it'll be first person.
Yeah, I never thought I'd like first person inside of it.
Yeah, I didn't either. But that was really well done. Absolutely loved it. So then this is the part I was talking about earlier, how you can lie to Jackie. Not going to happen. I like Jackie's character a lot, but what that part is, in case you missed it, was when Jackie asked, why are we stopping? You can say, you want to make a deal with the corporation people, or you can tell him that you need to take care of something alone. Why would you keep him out of the loop? I guess it's really not lying as much as it is just keeping, like, separating yourself from him. I don't like that. Why would you do that to Jackie?
Because you're trying to seek glory on your own, or
I guess.
he's gonna like it, or regardless.
Either way, I'm not good. Not tell Jackie everything that's going on. The Militech people, what they said about them is that they're very high leveled, and you also needed a high level scanner to read them. They're zooming in on them, you couldn't get their information and everything. Obviously, you probably need a military grade thing to read them. I half expected a superhero landing off the bridge, where they were sitting up and like, oh come on, superhero landing, but we didn't get a superhero landing, but that's okay. Let's see. The corporation agent knocks you on the ground, and your response was, calm the hell down, sheesh. Really, my first one, what the fuck was that was for? Because I think he clocked you with a gun. Oh, then your other response was, after they knock you on the ground, I got some info you can use. You're gonna be passive? I'm not gonna be passive.
And that's why you'll end up dying.
When the corporation asks you if you're alone, you can say, yeah, all by my lonesomeness, which that response was brilliant. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Or you can just tell them, no, I got a friend watching over me. What, to me, even though they have the liar software in you to find out if you're telling the truth or not, why would you just tell them that? I mean, I feel like if you do that, I feel like Jackie was going to die, and that's just not going to happen. And then, which I thought was just kind of ridiculous, let me go and then we'll talk. She has you at gunpoint. I think peaceful options are out the door. Yeah. I love how the option, I really liked how you could turn the camera in during that, and how one of the options was gun. Like, you grab the gun. I thought that was absolutely amazing. And I love how they're like, oh, if you grab the gun, there's some consequences there. I like that a lot. I like the fact that you can do it, and the fact that there will be consequences to it. Obviously, there would be a shootout, and people will die, but...
Possibly Jackie.
Yeah, which we don't want. I love the one sarcastic response that we didn't pick when the corporation asked you about the leaked information. It was, I know lots of assholes, and most of them talk. We didn't pick that option, but I just love that the option was there. Grabbing the gun has consequences. We went over that. The corporation agent wanted answers. And you can say, I got an offer for you, or you can say, I'm working for Dexter Deshawn, which just doesn't seem like a good idea. He does not seem like a man you want to cross, and let alone she seems like a backstabbing, double-crossing bitch anyways.
Considering what she did anyways.
Exactly. Which she proved my point. And then the third option, which was also a gold option, was, no reason at all, and that breaks out into a fight. Let's see. Doing the way you did it, which I thought was funny, they said, you unlocked a non-violent way through the quest. Not really, no. Kind of. It got you in the building non-violently. The three options to when you get to the Royce's place was, we go in guns hot, let's try to do this, let's all try to get along, or let's try to get along and start off nice, then... ... When they went into the menu, when you killed the guys, they had a codex, a quest, a biomonitor, an inventory, a GPS, crafting, and social. Social to me sounds like multiplayer. And I don't know if they said anything about it or not, or how that would work, but it's something that intrigued me.
I wonder if social is more like the cell phone stuff, because you were calling. You had the option to call people.
That is true. But either way, I'm interested in seeing what social means. The crafting, that makes me excited. I mean, obviously, you can probably add stuff onto your weapons.
And your body.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
They have a personal stats level, a street cred level. Now, here's what I didn't get. You pointed it out, and I told you that I wrote down. They have head 2. Like, you had your character, and then they had lines going off. And it said head 2, face 1, body 2, chest 2, then on your hand area it said jack, and then pants 1. So what I'm wondering with it is like, obviously there'll be clothing options and everything else, but like, what exactly do the numbers mean?
It's possible that the numbers could have just been
Because I thought maybe
their
they
way
were
of making sure that you can't see what they want.
Yeah, because I was wondering like if that was referring to like
Well,
maybe it was like head style 2 for hair,
yeah.
face style 1, and my second thought was maybe maybe it's for like things that you could equip on your character like hats or mask or gloves or something like that.
Well, they were talking about the creation stuff like it was in depth, so I don't know if the numbers are going to be.
Like I said, that's why I wrote it down, just because I didn't know what it was and I just thought it was interesting. I initially wrote down that there's 3 empty slots next to the pistols, and initially I thought it was attachments, but that's not the case. That's for other weapons, which there was what, 4 of them, I think. There's the shotgun, the rifle, the pistol, and then the machine gun. Yeah, so that's 4. I really like the weaponry in the game. The shotgun, I loved how it like moved and stuff. The machine gun I thought was awesome. The fact that the bullets could track your target.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Let's see. It shows your looted items in it. There's an inspect system for like what items you pick up. You can inspect them. I put heart the shotgun because the shotgun was amazing. There's hacking in the game. You can hack into things. You have engineering skills. I put OMFG, the ricochet gun system. I was not expecting that. My first thought
was definitely more high-tech ricocheting kind of.
Definitely.
Where rather than just saying you can shoot walls and your bullets will bounce off and possibly it's going to hit people, where it actually
it literally was, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. I think the ricochet. I think he said that the ricochet gun system was connected with our eye thing. So I don't know if that was the case.
That, but it would make sense.
Here's one of my favorite parts of the entire thing. We have the shotgun. We're going through the thing, and we like go flying through this one area with the one reflex thing. I think it was.
This is after the deal went sour.
Yeah, this is after the deal went sour.
Which that whole sequence I thought was
well done and brilliant. I love the personal part of it. How like you can tell Jackie to sit down or not. You can escalate the situation at any moment, but you're sitting there. You're trying to buy your time, and I can't believe. I guess I can believe the chick that fired their systems that she would do that, but it's like, why?
Because you can't cross the corporation. That was the whole point. But
she is going to die. I don't care how I do it. If I have to take out a whole building, she's going down.
The cool thing I thought about is that when they decided to finally stand up and hold everybody at gunpoint was just how it looked and everything was really cool.
I don't know whether they call it choreography or what, but it was brilliant. I mean, I loved how personal it was, and how I loved your interaction with Jackie there. I loved this little spider drone thing. I thought it was adorable. I wonder if we get to keep it. But
well, we were given that. And
I know we were getting
it. Choices
we were
was keeping the merchandise and the money.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I think that was one of the options. I don't remember.
Let's see. Okay. So my favorite part is when you go sliding in with the shotgun, and it was such a small detail, but a detail that I loved. You shoot out the dude's legs, which were completely cybernetic, and he grabs onto the countertop, legitimately grabs onto the countertop, trying to keep himself up, and then he starts sliding off and then lands onto his hands, and then he starts like passing out or whatever. Holy shit! That was awesome. Yeah. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Let's see. They shot out a couple people's legs, and it just made me happy. I mean, absolutely loved it. Yes, the jacking. When you plug into the person's, I think they said neural implant, maybe?
Something like that.
And then you have access to, like, the entire place, and you can, like, do certain things. I think one of them was, like, shutting down all the cyber stuff and things like that. But that, I absolutely love the jacking. I really hope that stays in the game.
Because that was one of the things that they said that this could
change, this could not be here, but I want
I'd
that
love to see
in the
how
game.
that works. Just because if you can jack into more than just your enemies, that would be interesting.
It adds such a game. To me, it adds such a gameplay level.
It reminded me a lot, like the way I want to see it is kind of like a remember me.
Yes,
where
absolutely.
You don't
yes.
see the people's memories. Not to that. I mean, you'd have to create so many memories for all the people, but just that kind of thing where you can access such personal things.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Like maybe that's an easy way to get cash. Like you can get their bank code from jacking them or something like that. Kind of like a Watch Dogs when you hack into their phones. So the jacking is awesome. Absolutely love it. I called it because I couldn't remember the fact that they were mantis blades, so I referred to it as Wolverine on the wall. That was fucking sick. The fact that you like wall run and all you got the mantis blades.
And nobody ever looks up. Nobody ever looks up.
I didn't know it. Like when I first saw the trailer, I think it was like 5 or 6 years ago, when they first showed the chick with the mantis blades. It was a CG trailer.
Oh, that one.
And they showed the chick with the mantis blades. I wasn't expecting.
They also showed the mantis blade before that in that specific video where they zoom in on the mantis blades on the wall.
Exactly, like early in the video, when you get the eye thing, you zoom in and you see the mantis blades. I'm like, oh, those are the mantis. I didn't know the name of them. I'm like, oh, those are from the trailer. But the fact that you can use them and it's first person, and
it looked good.
It looked absolutely amazing, and that was fantastic. You can double jump, you can bounce off walls. I love the mantis blade takedown. When you landed on them, it said takedown or non-lethal takedown. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Actually, it was a small glimpse of it.
It was brilliant. And then I kind of feel bad for the other guy that we hacked into, because he's like, it's not working. Can you wait a second? It's not working. Yeah, that was amazing. Love that. Double jump to bounce off the walls. One of the things that they said was the corporation weapons are top of the line. Royce ended up in an armed exoskeleton. I wonder, 1, will we be able to pilot any? 2, how many people have them in the game? And 3, I just like the exoskeleton. I mean, it was fantastic. One thing I loved was Jackie lifting up the car for protection as the guy's shooting like a heavier blast. And one of the things they said that there's consequences for every mission and it affects the world, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. I mean, look how big and how that mission went, and the different all the different choices you had just in that mission alone. Really looking forward to seeing the consequences of your actions.
Interested to see how it ripples throughout the world.
Yeah, then our lovely corporation chick comes back, which I honestly wasn't expecting. I just was expecting it, right, here's this, and then not having to see her, because to me it was like they were going to leave it for the game or whatever. Mm-hmm. But she ends up back in there, and she wants to work together with you after, like, gives you a chip with a virus in it. Not only did you have to gun your way out of there, but we should work together more often. Like, I should put a bullet in you right now.
I love the response there.
Yeah, the response was, you tricked me. Then one of them said, gladly. And the other one said, fuck you. I don't remember which one they picked. I think they just went, you tricked me. But yeah.
It's still good.
It's still a brilliant response. Then the corporation chick says a couple of years later, you could be where I'm at. And your responses are, no fucking way, and need to think about it. Love the no fucking way response about, yeah, so I could be some raging, I think she called her a raging bitch or something like that. Watching other people do business or something like that. Either way, loved it. When you call Dex, you can tell him that the test is complete, and you can say, take my advice, forget about Maelstrom. And I don't know if that's sarcastic in the essence of, I just killed them all, and the gang leader, nothing, just don't worry about it anymore, or what. The trunk in Jackie's car is in the front of the vehicle. That's where you put your little spider drone. I don't know if you saw that.
I was wondering what he was doing there.
Yeah, he was putting the spider drone in the front. After you talk to Dex, you get experience thresholds. It says experience threshold surpassed. Then it has a couple greater than signs. Yeah. You can think of heart. So after you pass the mission,
or it could be arrows pointing.
So after you pass the mission with Dex, you get an experience threshold surpassed. It's the street cred level 2. Then my last thing is, who are the voice actors for V and for Jackie?
Well, they could be temporary currently.
They could be, but I love them.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, every single character. I mean, you had V, you had Jackie, you had Deshawn, you had Royce,
you had
T-Bug, and you had the corporation lady, who I can't remember her name, but I remember her last name was Stout. They were absolutely brilliant in their performances. I absolutely am intrigued in every single character. This is going to be an amazing game. This is, to me,
game of the year already.
Absolutely game of the year already. I really do 100% believe this is going to redefine gaming again. CD Projekt Red are going to knock it out of the park. This has me completely 100% stoked, excited, ready for it. It cannot.
There are a few games that lately, especially like that, have gotten me excited
Mhm.
really about them. Like it took Red Dead's gameplay trailer for me to finally get excited about the second one that's coming out. But with just this single trailer,
I'm completely
day one purchase.
absolutely.
Whenever it does come out, as long as it's not on a new console.
Yeah, but it would actually be cool, and I kind of hope they don't do this, but do at the same time, would you come out with like a Cyberpunk themed console?
Yeah,
I think they could do some cool things with it regardless.
noises and all.
Exactly. So that's our thoughts, our reaction, our notes,
Our
breakdown, whatever you want to call it, on Cyberpunk 2077. Obviously, we're excited. Obviously, a bunch of you will be as well. So make sure if you enjoyed this video, you headbutt that like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more content, and make sure you leave a comment down below to let us know how excited you are about Cyberpunk 2077. Been waiting for this game for 5 or 6 years. I am quite excited about this. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, where I'm sure we'll cover more Cyberpunk when there's more things to talk about.
Yeah.
So this is Nerdy Gym Bros, signing off.